So I definitely was not planning on doing a vlog today. I hoped that I would be able to, but then I didn't think I would. So, but here we are. I'm a little bit unprepared seeing as I don't have the physical book, but this week I am very excited to be talking to you about Courtney Peppernell's Pillow Talks. Sorry, not Pillow Talks, Pillow Thoughts. Excuse me. So it was a book that was given to me a few years ago as a gift, because people seem to either give me mugs or they give me books. Anyway, I guess that kind of fits my personality, maybe. So, Pillow Thoughts. Pillow Thoughts is a collection of poems, and as I kind of alluded to in the last video, a lot of them have to do with love. And that was honestly kind of hard for me, especially at the beginning of the book, when it's like, when you love someone, when you're in love, because I am, but they broke my heart, and it's been really tough, and having COVID on top of things has made it even tougher. I was actually talking to my mom about this the other day, because I sort of had a date-ish, kind of, and I felt really weird about it. Like, I felt a little guilty, and I just felt kind of sad, because it seemed like, even though that previous chapter of my life with that person had essentially ended, it was like when the book has been opened so many times that it never quite closes, and it felt like it was finally kind of shut. And my mom was like, well, you know, even though you broke up almost 6 months ago, with COVID and everything, and like time feeling all weird, it feels like it was just a few weeks ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so even though on one hand, Pillow Thoughts was really hard for me, at the same time, it kind of felt healing. And so I really liked that. One of my favorite quotes, I'm forgetting the page number, but bear with me. One of my favorite quotes was, they say don't fall in love with writers because their poems are messy and their letters are empty words dressed up to look pretty. But I say, fall in love with me, because underneath the mess and in between the lines is a heart too full of love that would follow you to any city. And I shared this on my Instagram because which is how I have the quote here. I have my computer. Anyway, I shared this on my Instagram because at first I was like, damn, feeling kind of attacked. Don't fall in love with writers. I am a writer. Does that not mean that I don't deserve love? And I know, actually, it's kind of funny because with that relationship that I was in right before COVID and everything, that person used to always say, oh, well, you're the writer. You write me so many love notes and poems, like I feel bad that I can't give any to you. But then, like, the poem got better, because honestly, that really, like, it spoke that truth that I think is there for all writers. And it actually kind of gets into my, like, work in progress with my new book that I'm working on writing, and you can see some of those sneak peeks on my blog, where for some people, their way of showing that they love is through words, whether that's spoken words, whether that's written words, sung words, whatever. That's how they show love. And that's very much me. And so this is getting really off track of Pillow Thoughts, but like, I don't know, like, it kind of just gets back to the fact that even though some of the poems were really hard for me to read emotionally, because it's like, I've been there, I've felt that, but I'm not feeling that now. That sense of loss is just very evocative and powerful. And like even though you're kind of upset about it, you can't help but to like it and to appreciate it and be like, yes, 100%. One of the other poems that I found in there that I really liked, and I liked it for two reasons. One, because it's like kind of deep, and two, because, spoiler alert, I really like Batman. But the other poem that I really enjoyed was, change is not going to sit you down and ask if you're ready. Change is going to knock on your door and hand you a notice. Change is not going to hug you in the middle of the night and tell you it can wait. Change does not wait. Change doesn't care if you're ready. It will happen anyway. Change is not always the friend that you may want, but it will always know when you need it. It's like Batman, basically. And I really like this poem, like I said, for two reasons. One, I think it's really powerful, and I think especially now in light of COVID and like the new normal and masks and everything and just all of the things, change and accepting change is such a hard lesson to learn, but it's so necessary. And then I think it's kind of funny that it's like Batman, basically. Because, for one, I think the tonal shift is just really interesting, and two, I just like that pulp culture reference, and how it's kind of like the whole, not the hero that Gotham wanted, but it's the hero Gotham needed. Like, change isn't the thing that we necessarily want, but sometimes we need it. And sometimes we just need to buck up and accept it, even though it's really freaking hard sometimes. You know, poetry books are kind of hard for me because while I consider myself an amateur poet, poetry I feel like is so much more open-ended and up for interpretation than prose or than a lot of other mediums. And even though I'm sure all of us were so sick of the poetry unit in high school when we were like, sometimes the sky is just blue and the poet isn't actually depressed, sometimes a little red wagon is more than just a little red wagon. Sometimes that little red wagon is childhood. Sometimes it's moving on. Sometimes it is just a wagon, and it's different for everyone. And so that's why another reason why I had a problem with like high school poetry classes, because it's like, yes, I understand that that's the understanding that you are getting as a teacher who is experienced, but like maybe it means something completely different to me. And I just like the fluidity and openness of poetry, which really I think is evident in this particular book, because this collection of poems, it's very personal, it's very emotional, and I think that's really powerful because you can really see how much work and love and effort Peppernell put into it. But the other thing about it, and this is pure structure, along with the kind of like journey through love of the chapters, but it's not like traditional poetry books where it's like, here's a sonnet, here's a haiku, here's all of the other types of poems that I can't remember the specific styles of, where it's like very structured. Some poems are one line, some poems are a whole page, some poems are like a little bitty paragraph. And I think that the fact that it's broken up makes it a lot more consumable and a lot more understandable, because it's almost, honestly, it's almost like taking a peek into Peppernell's brain. It's like her personal diary and thoughts that she has so graciously gifted us to read. And so I know that there are a lot of people out there who say, I don't like poetry, which I always found is really interesting because music is basically poetry. But like, I think because the poems differ in structure. Some of them are like legit stanzas and lines and verses, and some of them, like I said, are just like little paragraphs or little one-liners. I think it makes poetry so much more approachable. And I think the fact that even though love as a topic, as a concept, is kind of not overdone, but like I feel like it's almost often seen as basic. Like, I mean, you think about movies and stuff, and like, you know, what is your basic girl like, myself included? Rom-coms, romantic dramas, like, give me all the romance movies. And then people kind of scoff when you say that your favorite genre is like a rom-com, which is so unfair, because we all, to some varying degree, in our own special way, we all want love, and we all love love. And it's even kind of getting back to love a few, well, I guess months ago now, where love is different for everyone. And I think even though this book isn't explicitly about love, it is. Because, and like some parts definitely are explicitly about love, like when you're in love with someone, or if you're missing someone. Like there are these cute little drawings of little jellyfish, and they have little hearts sometimes, and they like do stuff. It's really cute. I think you'll really like this book. Again, just like you can see the amount of thought and effort and energy that Peppernell put into it, and all that thought and effort and energy can only be summarized as love. So, do I think you should read it? Yes. Do I think that you will like it? Most likely. I think if you like poetry, you should definitely give it a shot. And I think that if you're not sure about poetry, or if you're like a poetry novice and you're still testing the waters, I think this is another really good book that will kind of introduce it to you in a very simple way, and show you that it's not as scary and as overwhelming and as metaphorical and symbolic as high school English teachers make poetry to seem. So, 10 out of 10, definitely check it out if you get the chance. As for my next book, I'm really excited because once again, I'm partnering with Inkberry Books in Niwot, Colorado. This is a book called Stranger in the Pen by Mohammed Assem. He is from Kuwait. Oh no, there's a little bug. It is a non-fiction book taking place in 2016. I've only gotten a little bit into it, but the little bit that I've gotten into, he's on his way back from Norway, I think. Norway or the Netherlands. I don't remember which. I just know it's an N. But anyway, he gets stopped at customs in coming back into the UK, because this happened like right after the attacks in Paris on Bastille Day in 2016. So it says that this book examines the burden of being disconnected from one's homeland, unpacks the emotional toll of racial profiling, and eliminates the quietly surprisingly ways in which grief can change one's life. I'm very excited to read the rest of this book, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts on it with you next week. So, thank you again so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you then.